Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the new buff, double buff there, and actually of the Shadow Electivire. This Pokemon is honestly so much fun. Like, it is like one of those Pokemon that I just love because you have a fast-paced, swishy Pokemon with great coverage that actually has some play. And yeah, we're gonna see it here today as well. This team worked out super well. Would recommend it definitely to you as well. We're going to have Electivire in the lead. Going to be our kinda kamikaze lead here. You kinda want to stay in here. You kinda want to get some nice damage in, but you don't really care too much if it goes down or not. We're going to have a very solid core in the back here though, with the Hery and the Clefable building basically nearly a perfect core there as well. So you have an ABC style line. You don't really need to care about the elite, which I feel like is very important if you want to play Electivire, because this thing is not your standard typical Pokemon. It is squishy, it is very fast and spammy, but it is very also scary to play around, especially if you have a late game around, because yeah, you just cannot take a hit. And so here we're going to have a very interesting team here with the Hery, with the Clefable, and we're going to see already here in the first matchup that there are some pros and some cons. Here, for example, the opponent is going to be able to get both of my shields. I can overfarm. This overfarmer might come in clutch here again as well. And we have the Hydrogen and going to connect against the opponent. Let's see what is coming in next here. It is going to be the Warrain. Warrain is going to be a bit of a trickier one, because as you will see here as well, Hydro Cannon is going to put them into range for a Moonblast, hopefully. We will see the Moonblast coming through. Luckily, we were able to save that move, and it's going to now connect to do a ton of damage, and we can nearly fully farm them down. But as we'll see here as well, we're going to get one more free fast move in, and we can go for the full farm down. And sadly, though, one extra fast move didn't make any difference, but we still won. But then again, there are going to be some matchups as well that are going to be a bit more, I don't know, tricky. We're going to have here the Malamar. Interesting Pokemon. We go straight for the Wild Charge, gonna get the shield, gonna get the swap out, and that's kind of the way you want to play this Pokemon. You either stay in, you either commit, or you just gonna swap out after getting your own debuff. But then again, Hery is actually quite a risky Pokemon to use as a safe swap in the current meta, I feel like, because there are quite a lot of normal type Pokemon around, quite a lot of Licky around, and so running this Pokemon is not always going to be the best choice for you. As you'll see as well, the Hydro Cannon is going to now connect against the opponent. It is going to allow us to get them kind of low, but what do we do next? Do we let the move go through? Do we use a shield here? Or we decide to let the move go through? It's going to be a body slam. Yeah, I was hoping we would survive, but we sadly don't. And what do we do here now? As you're going to use a shield. My plan is to go for the full farm down. Does it work out? Let's find out. It does. And so we still have the Fairy type Pokemon though in the back. And now I'm kind of worried, because if they have a lead here that is going to be good for Fairy types, or like for my Fairy type there, they're of course going to have a hard answer in the back, and so I'm sadly going to lose this battle here because we were not able to align ourselves correctly. But it is what it is, and we can move on to the next one. And to be fair, there's a lot of learning with Electivire. There are, for example, matchups here where the opponent could go for a Moonblast and just knock you out straight away, which they try to do here, which is great for us. And in those matchups, you can definitely have a little bit of fun with the Wild Charge, which has so much potential. We actually will be able to fully farm them down here, which I didn't expect as well. The opponent doesn't even get a move over the Clefable, which is lovely. And then comes the Hery, which will have to take 2 Hydro Cannons here minimum. And so we either get the shield or we get the KO. I don't really care too much. We're gonna get the shield here. So be it. Fine, they still have to go for 2 charge moves against me as well. And the more fast move pressure I have against them, the better it's going to be for Electivire. But you know what's also great for Electivire is that you're going to not encounter the ground type Pokemon here with Gastron. We're gonna get the shield, and this will allow us now to go ahead and go into a Clefable. And my play is just to not use, oh never mind, to actually use a shield here, and try to align myself just with the Clefable, go for Moonblast, try to get a lot of damage onto them. And this is going to be fine here as well. We have to just make sure that we're going to swap out when the opponent stops out, which could be basically anytime soon. And then we should be kind of okay. Earthpower coming through, they swap out, we're gonna go for 1 charge move first, because we need to get a little bit of damage onto them so we can farm them down afterward. And now we can swap out. We have charge move stored, and now a Wild Charge is going to be enough to knock them out, but they decide to rather, yeah, forfeit this battle. Clefable is going to be next. We're gonna see here as well, we have the Wild Charge coming in, and this is going to allow us now to get the KO, hopefully. It doesn't, but it's gonna get them insanely low. And so, as we'll see as well, the Moonblast is coming through. We're going to be able to go for the Clefable next. It's going to be totally fine. Let's see. We're going to let the move go through again. It's going to be the Rage Fist. and we try our best here with the spam of Thackery plus Swift though. We're a little bit behind because we have like one shield disadvantage, but this is a matchup where we might be able to kind of flip the disadvantage by going for all of those Swifts and getting all of those shields, and that is going to be super important for us. Now the Swift is coming through, and actually hope that they let the move go through, which they do. This allows us to get them a little bit lower at least, and for me there's no real reason to use a shield here anymore, as Clefable did his job, got the shield back, got them insane low, and put them into range so I can fully farm them down. I'm well aware that I have to use a shield here though, because yeah, energy generation is just madness, like it's literally wild. And as you can see here, it's going to be the Licky in the back. I was hoping that 2 Hydrocans are enough to knock them out, but it is not. It's not even close, to be fair. And so the opponent makes a great play here. What they decide to do is they decide to go ahead and overfarm by quite a bit, because this will allow them to have a better matchup against the Electivire, and as you will see here as well, they can go for a charge move. It's going to be sadly the Earthquake, forcing me to swap out of here, and my fast move timing was not ideal. I was expecting that they would still, I don't know, like, sure, went for one more fast move, doesn't actually matter anyway, they're going to be able to go for another charge move. It is going to be the Earthquake. There was no winning in this battle. While there were some small mistakes that I could have played a little bit better there, definitely nothing that I could have done to really win this battle, I think. Next one, we're going to have the Weezing. Weezing is going to be very neutral, and we see here already on a completely random timing, we were able to CMP tie against them, which is really, really bad. That's not what you want to see whatsoever. And so they can go for another move here, and we have to be a bit mindful of the situation we're in. We have the Weezing against us, they're going to outspeed us. They need always one less fast move to every single charge move, so we can have to swap out basically immediately now, because they have another Brutal Swing, which they go straight away for it as well, and we have now some nice energy advantage on our Feraligatr, and still have some energy as well left on our Electivire. And so, because of the energy advantage that we have, there is no way that this is going to be ever a CMP tie, and so we will see as well. We're going to try our best here to go for another charge move. The opponent decides to go for their own charge move. It's not going to knock us out, and we can knock them out here instead, which is going to be great. I could even undercharge it and try to get some energy with my Electivire, but I didn't want to risk it. And they go back into the Weezing. I can go back into my Electivire, and we should be able to CMP tie here, which does work out. And there's no way that even a bulky Weezing can survive this move here. Easy one shot. In comes Licky. We're going to overfarm by a little bit and swap out now to the Clefable. My hope here is that I'm either going to be able to win with 2 Moonblast, or that I'm going to be able to get to another move later on. The opponent is kind of forced here to get out of this matchup with a charge move still stored, which is going to be very difficult for them. And so let's find out what is going to be happening next. I still have to go for at least a Shadow Ball and a Body Slam, and they don't do this. And with this game is over. We're going to be able to get the KO here with the Moonblast, and we can move on to the next opponent. Clefable in the lead. Again, they're going to be able to outspeed us. It's a very similar situation compared to what we had already with the matchup previously against the Weezing, where the opponent needs 4 Therians to get to 1 charge move that is not doing that much damage, but is still going to do some solid stuff, generally speaking, as we will see as well. Clefable is going to be able to go for a Moonblast here, and we have the Ampharos coming in as well. The Hydrocan is going to be able to now connect against the opponent here. It is going to get the shield, and we use we don't have a shield anymore, so they're going to be able to knock us out here. So how do we actually play this one out? We have a shield disadvantage. We have the Electivire against like the opponent's Ampharos here, and we go for a Wild Charge, and they actually still survive, but that's actually kind of fine, because now we're going to be able to fully farm them down with Fairy Wind here. We were able to catch a resisted hit, which is kind of great, and we have the opponent against us. This is not over. This is definitely not over. We can go for a Moonblast here, and I just need another Swift now in order to get the shield. I try my best to go for the Swift now as well. The opponent goes for a charge move. It is going to be the Scorching Sands. We easily survive, and I overtap. I overtap by 1 fast move, and this is going to completely destroy our plan here, because otherwise I would have been able to knock them out here. I'm fairly certain I would have been actually having a decent shot against the other Pokemon that was still left as well. And so I kind of screwed myself over here by not going straight for the Swift. Very silly mistake by me, and definitely something that cost us the battle here. And here's the cool thing about Electivire and why I like this Pokemon so much, because you're going to be able to actually have even those matchups that are really bad for you, you actually would be able to survive a Leaf Blade here. You don't even have to use a shield, but I decided to use a shield, which you're going to see later on that I didn't even have to do this. We still have some play here. We're actually going to be able to outspeed the opponent in the long run for the zero shield scenario, which is something that is kind of nice as well for us. And so we will see the Ice Punch coming through, getting the shield from the opponent. They are very, very low. This is going to be a CMP tie. Let's find out how much a Leaf Blade does. And as you're gonna see here as well, there was no real reason for us to use even a shield, and we would have been able to definitely have a better matchup there as well. So for next time you face a Verisian in the lead, go for that. As you can see as well, the opponent kind of crushed, I think, and it is what it is. We're gonna see as well that it's very unlikely for us to actually win the battle without the crash here, so that is very fortunate for us. The opponent actually is going to come back later as well, so it is what it is, but I think we're just going to stop it here. We're going to move on to the next opponent. Moving on now, let's take a look at the next one. We're going to have the Licky here. Licky is going to be a Pokemon that is, yeah, a bit more neutral. Of course, like the last battle was a bit unfortunate. I see some people being like, oh, can you not just wait out? I want to get my battles done. Like, I do those battles at close to midnight, and I have to get my battles done in a certain time. I cannot wait for all the opponents, and also I have never, I think I've seen it once in like 30,000 battles where an opponent waited for me one time. And so, yes, I do understand the reasoning of being like, oh, do you not want to be fair? Nobody does it to me. I need to get my battles done. I want to go back into bed as well, to be fair. That's the thing as well for me. The leagues change at 10 p.m. at night. You see always a video like in the evening as well. I have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. So, sorry that I don't wait for that then as well to maybe see the opponent coming back eventually. You're always going to have the advantage anyway. You never know what's really happening, and then the game itself is also broken enough that if you wait out and don't go for a fast move, you actually don't see if the opponent ever going to go for another fast move again. It is not really an ideal scenario. I do understand it, but yeah, that is the game that we play. It is not my responsibility at the end of the day as well. But yeah, we're going to have the responsibility of Clefable to destroy the opponent's Giratina, which I feel like is a bit fairer as well. As you will see here, the Moonblast is going to now connect. They're going to be able to do a ton of damage. There's not really anything the opponent can do here anymore. We can take a Shadow Sneak like it's nothing, and we will see the Tentacool coming back in. And while this is a horrible matchup for us, we still have even another Pokemon left, which is going to be very, very good. This is going to allow us to now go for the full farm down very, very soon. Let's see. It is going to be the Acid Spray, and we can now go for the full farm down here. In comes the Giratina, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Let's take a look at the next opponent here. We're going to have another Dragonite in the lead. This time around was not a Shadow variant. It doesn't really matter because, as you guys see here, Ice Punch is going to be able to get the shield anyway, or would get the KO otherwise. We can use the shield, and that's going to guarantee us a shield advantage. And this is kind of fine because then we have shield and kind of switch advantage, as we're going to go then into a Fairy type where they're always kind of swapping out of it. And so I'm actually kind of happy on how this played out. We're going to go into the Clefable. They swap out straight away into the Swampert, and that is okay for me. I can swap out into the Feraligatr. To be fair, maybe a Swift would have been really good here. I've rarely played with Swampert recently, which I should mostly do again. I feel like Swampert would be one of the Pokemon where people would be really interested in seeing if this Pokemon still has potential. And I do think this Pokemon still has potential, so might be something I kind of want to take a look at as well again. But here, Earthquake is going to get through here. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down. And in comes the opponent's Dragonite. We try to go for the Ice Beam. It doesn't work out. They're going to be able to get the KO beforehand, which is fine. We have still our Clefable, and there's going to be, sadly, a Talonflame in the back. And that is kind of game over. And here's the thing. I'm not too sure if Moonblast or Swift is the better option here. Maybe Moonblast is actually the better way to go. Swift is neutral. Moonblast, of course, is going to be the resisted hit. But is it going to change that much? I don't even know. Because, again, you're going to have a stab move that does a lot of damage and a non-stab move that doesn't do that much damage. So I just want to see, like, those small things I'm kind of curious about, which does more damage total. And as you can see here, sadly you're going to lose a battle, but it is what it is. In the meantime, I found out that Swift is actually the better damage per energy move to go for. So, like, yeah, generally speaking, Moonblast does more damage. It does 33.3%, but Swift does 22.6%, while needing 25 less energy. Means, like, yeah, generally speaking, it's a bit more energy efficient to go for Swift in those matchups. Anyway, we're going to have Heliolisk here against us in the back, which is weird, but a very solid answer actually to our on Feraligatr, and they go for the Parabolic Charge, boosting their own defense, which is a rare thing to be seen, but very, very cool to see like a Parabolic Charge user here again. Parabolic Charge coming through again. This time around they don't get the defense buff, which is really important because like this we were able to fully farm them down. In comes Feraligatr. I try my best to get them a little bit lower, because if we're gonna hit a Moonblast here, the opponent is going to be in range as well now, where we can go for the Electivire fully farm down here. And we have now energy advantage here. We put the opponent basically into a Fairy Wind down range. They go into their own Clefable. I can let the move go through. It should be just a Swift. And we can take the hit. We can overfarm by a little bit. I can use the shield here as well. There should be energy dry at this point. And I should be able to go for 2 Wild Charge back to back here, which is super important. We see the free fast move from the opponent coming through. It means we're definitely going to be able to go for another Wild Charge afterwards. They even try to go for the full farm down instead. Let's see how much damage it does. Boom. Nearly going to knock them out. We can go for the full farm down. This is just going to be another Swift here as well. This is not going to be a Moonblast. Swift is coming through. They swap out into the Feraligatr. I'm forced to go for my own Swift. Who is going to be able to win the final battle here? Let's find out. It is going to be that Clefable from our side, which is going to be great. And so that's going to be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you then. Bye bye.